We're going to talk about social everything, which is very fuzzily defined. And I think particularly I'm going to talk about sort of three phases of app development that I think are kind of interesting. So distribution, getting users or virality, engagement, which is getting usage and stickiness, monetization, which is making money. And I'd like to talk about that in the context of platforms, so Facebook, MySpace, High5, Orchid, Nebo, others, LinkedIn. I'd like to talk about that in the sense of vertical. So one thing that's certainly capturing a lot of attention recently is gaming. But I think we might also want to talk about other category verticals that seem to be doing reasonably well. Movies, books, sports, other things. And then if we have time, let's maybe do a little crystal ball gazing and talk about futures. But I encourage the audience to also come up with some questions, and we'll leave a little time for that as well. If we get through all that and keep your interest, then we'll have some demos, many of which will be social gaming related at the 8 o'clock hour. And with that, let's jump in. So I'm going to start with Tim O'Shaughnessy from Hungry Machines, to my right. Tim, 5 words.
Hungry Machine, living social, that's me.
That's 6 words. Living social is 1 word.
All right, Kazra.
J2 Play social gaming, total social gaming solution.
All right, Coconut. Wayne.
Wayne, nicknames, apps, all-nighters.
Very good.
Okay, Ryan Merkett, standards lover, user experience definer.
We'll be easy on the gong there, but that was pushing it. Okay, so first question, I guess I'd like to take up the platform issue. How many of you have developed applications for the Facebook platform? Oh, okay, crowd 2. How many people in the crowd have developed applications for the Facebook platform? All right, great. How many have developed them for MySpace or are developing them? Orchid? High5? Bebo? What am I forgetting?
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn, sorry, LinkedIn? Friendster, thank you, that was the anything else that I missed that you guys want to call out? Nebo, okay, let's call it Nebo. Great. So let's take the question here. Facebook seems to have had success from a platform basis on at least distribution and probably on engagement to some extent. I don't know if you feel that monetization they've had success yet, but let's take out that question first and say, what do you think is working well on the Facebook platform? And particularly in those 3 categories, what seems to be working well from your guys' experience? And Ryan, do you want to start?
Sure. Well, I think the obvious answer would be distribution. With the social tools that Facebook has given, us as developers, in order for our apps to spread, I think definitely distribution, that Facebook takes the cake. So.
And do you think user engagement is particularly successful on that platform? Or do you think that's more a function of apps?
As a designer, I love the Facebook UI. I think they do a great job with the UI, and I think the apps that adopt the Facebook UI into their apps, have a better chance of success. So, that being said, if you can follow the standards and the conventions that Facebook has already set up and use those in your apps, I think you're going to see a higher return on your investment. So.
Wayne, on distribution topic, I guess here's a question. You guys developed for Facebook for a while?
Yes, in the summer.
Okay, and how do you see the distribution opportunity changing or has changed? I guess the current logic is, everybody who started X number of months ago has so much more of a head start, and now it's impossible.
Right.
Do you think that's accurate or inaccurate?
I think it's definitely more difficult than it used to be to create an application that's really viral. I think that's just because, like at the beginning when the platform first came out, you could email all of your users, like users that, you could email, users that didn't even have your application, and you could do that, and there'd be no limit, And then they imposed a limit, and then they didn't let you email, non-app users, and then now, they limit the number of notifications that you can send out. And it all makes sense, but it makes it more difficult to create an application that goes from 0 to 1 million.
Okay, so they've been dialing down invitation, email, notification-based plurality, but
Right.
using other methods, do you still think there's an opportunity there? And is that big, small, or medium?
I think there's definitely room for innovation when it comes to viral apps. So, I think, well, the interesting thing is, like, when we first when we wrote nicknames, this was like beginning of August, they had already started to clamp down on emails, how many emails we could send out. And so we tried to come up with a concept that would send really, really compelling notifications. And those are nicknames, and they pertain to the person that receives them. Like, it's really, really important to them. So it ends up being, in some ways, more viral than simply, invite your friend to this app, send them a request or something like that.
And maybe one more question on that is, if you had the choice to extend your current app versus developing a bunch of other apps, what strategy would you recommend or are currently following? To get more users, I guess.
To get more users or to engage?
You can answer however you'd like. I guess.
Okay.
Are you currently following a strategy of enhancing your main core app, or are you developing a lot of small apps?
I mean, we're constantly working on nicknames to improve it, because we already have like a pretty big user base, and there are really, really passionate users, in a lot of countries, particularly Egypt and Lebanon.
What's the installs and actives on nicknames?
We have, I think, around 6.7 million installs, 120, 130K daily active. And we listen to user feedback. We look at all the new features that we can add. We decide on which ones would really enhance user experience, and those